Hello, everyone. Oh. Hello, everyone. The 13th Scale here, also known as Scale, and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. It's the Justice for All thing that gets me, even though it's literally right in front of me on the screen, right here. But I digress. We finished our first case. We're now on to our second case. That was no accident. Ooh, we're starting this quick. I was drugged with sleeping pills. Well, at least it was only sleeping pills. That's not good, but I was murdered by that person. Oh, shit. Wait, if you were murdered, then how are you talking? Holy hell. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it? Eenie? What? What is going on with these two? I finally get to see you again, and it's not your fault. You didn't do it. No, I did it. I killed that person. God damn it, Maya. Who are we murdering again? But that wasn't you. It doesn't matter. It might as well have been me. Well, it does matter if you're sitting in a holding cell. I can't believe something like this happened again. The events of that gloomy, rainy afternoon that started this whole mess. As I turn and look to my own gloomy night, where it is more lightning than rain. I'm not kidding. There's so many lightning flashes. I'm like, should I still be recording? Should I just give up? But I told myself I'd do one more tonight, so here we are. Okay, well, don't argue with me. Let me please finish. Please? I'm asking nicely. Anyway, the events of that night kept playing through my mind. Okay. Can I see them, please? June 16th, 3:34 p.m., Wright & Co. Law Offices. All right. Oh my god! Who is this skunk man? All right. What depressing rain. Do you understand how depressed that makes me, do you? Yes. But actually, more than being depressed, I'm angry. Angry at that weather girl on TV. You remind me a lot of some of the people that come into my work, and I don't like that. I think our little rainy spell will take a break with a day of sun. That's what that girl said. I'd stake my life on it. Well, it is the weather, but that's why I didn't bother to bring an umbrella today. I'm tired. I had enough coffee that finally kicked in that I'm not actually tired, but this dude emotionally and mentally makes me tired. What nerve calling that herself a weather girl. She's going to hear about my $1,500 suit. Look. I get where you're coming from because it's a $1,500 suit. But, if you have to go around talking about how much money you spent on something, not in terms of a deal that you got on something, like, you know, I only paid $10 for this. But if you have to go around bragging about how much money you spent on something, you are a much poorer person than you think that you are. So anyway, about your case. Unless you're planning on suing the weather girl... I'm sorry. I thought that before we got down to business, we could have some friendly chatter. Okay. My name is Dr. Turner Gray. I'm a surgeon. Like, Dr. Gray, as in Gray's Anatomy. That show was going in 2002 when the series came out, right? That's how that works? This Because let's see. Yeah, okay, so this game came out in 2002. When did Grey's Anatomy start? 2005. Okay, so this was before Grey's Anatomy. Because I know that thing's been going on forever. It has more seasons than almost any other TV show that I know about besides, like, Sesame Street. Remind me to never end up under his knife. Yeah, no shit. Dude seems like he's got a vendetta. Also would explain why you're bragging about spending $1,500 on a suit. I'm here today because of this incident. Malpractice at Gray Surgical Clinic. 14 inpatients lose their lives? What the hell is going on at your surgical clinic, Mr. Dr. Gray? Can I even call you doctor if you're killing that many people? What, did somebody, like, murder everybody? What? Oh, you're the doctor at... It's really quite upsetting. Did you hear me? Upsetting. I heard you the first time. I think I'm about to be blessed with a kitty. Yeah. I heard you. I agree that it's quite upsetting, Dr. Gray. Can I help you? You seem to be over here because you want something. Okay, that's fine. But you do have to say hello. Say hello. Go ahead. Thank you. I'm gonna hold you in place as I scooch up. Sound good? Alright, Edgar. Lay down. Lay down. Anyway. The one that screwed up was that nurse. Okay. It was her that got the medications mixed up and killed those 14 patients. But aren't you responsible for what she does? Also, additionally, how can such a grave mistake be made 14 times? And yet, and now listen good, and yet, that nurse had the nerve to go and die before admitting to her wrongdoings. She didn't even offer any sort of explanation to me, and that is the kicker. Was Maya channeling? Hi, hello, you're very cute. Would you lay down, please? Thank you. It's very hard to have a conversation about medical malpractice and 14 deaths when I have this adorable kitty on my lap. You know, makes it a little difficult. She didn't even offer any sort of explanation to me, and this is the kicker. She up and has herself a grand old accident and crashes her car. I wouldn't call, like, I can understand Johnny Depp's grand old flag, but I would not, knowing that context, ever refer to it as a grand old accident when it ended her life, potentially. Smash, crunch, instantly transforming her car into the accordion model. Okay, look, I will admit, as a person whose family has a lot of medical background and experience, that it does desensitize you in a way to being able to talk about intestinal issues while eating noodles and you will be fine, which was not something that I ever knew was weird for people until a much later point in time in my life. I think somebody pointed that out at like a college orientation or something like that as like a brag that they could do that. And I was like, you mean that's not normal? Anyway, I still don't think that's an appropriate way to talk about the way that somebody died. Like, actually, theoretical deaths is one thing. And we're back to the car burning thing. So, is she dead? Because she's, like, missing a shoe and she's outside of the car. Anyway, that's right. About a year ago, all the tabloid shows were talking about. Did they find her body? 14 victims of medical malpractice and the nurse's mysterious fatal accident. There were rumors that Dr. Gray had actually caused that crash. People said that it was to forever hide the person responsible for the malpractice incident. Unless it was him. But why is he in my office? Why would I? Now, I'm just going to say this once. Why on earth would I want to kill that nurse? That's a good point. Unless she was going to expose you, like that maybe you personally killed the 14 for some reason, maybe get, like, I don't know, an insurance payout. But then, okay, I can understand why you would want to kill the nurse, because the nurse could expose your malpractice crimes, proving that you actually did it. Now, what I don't understand is why you would want to kill the 14 patients, unless it was an actual mistake that you made. If you were doing it maliciously, like, you're a surgeon, I can't imagine you screwing up that easily on 14 patients at once. Not to mention as well, typically it's the nurses that would end up kind of administering those kinds of medications and the kind of setting depicted in the picture. So why would you want to kill 14 people? You wouldn't get some kind of payout, and your hospital's mortality rate would go up if that was actually the case. Because typically it's considered a bad thing for, like, you know, the board of directors and like all that kind of stuff when a hospital's mortality rate increases. So you wouldn't want to have that happen to begin with. But additionally to that, because it can also, I believe, hurt some of your funding that you get depending on where you get the funding, right? Because sometimes it'll hurt it if you get it from like private equity, but sometimes you may face additional government scrutiny if you're getting it from the government. But to further that, right? So it's going to increase your mortality rate. And number two, living sick people make you a lot of money as a doctor. If there's one thing that I, as an American, know, it's that keeping people alive and sick at the same time is an incredibly financially well-positioned to be in if you are a doctor. Not so much if you're, you know, the patient, but... So yeah, why would you? Unless you were trying to get higher profile clients then, I guess. But you could make that work. She's the one who killed those 14 patients, not me. I think you need to take a very deep breath, doctor, and focus. More to the point, this case is over a year old, so why bring it up now? That's simple, because the situation is slipping out of my grasp. This just won't do. My clinic isn't seeing nearly as many patients nowadays. Well, yeah, you killed 14 people. Whether it was your nurse's fault or yours doesn't really matter in the grand schemes of things. Your patient mortality rate went up very, very publicly. And if people have a choice in clinics that they can attend, they will not be attending your clinic. I gotta tell, this is gonna seem like a very crazy point, but I have very tiny blood vessels in my veins. Very, very tiny. My brother does too. It's a family medical thing. So much so that, you know, when you like go to get an MRI, that they have like the vein scanner to like find your veins. Yeah, that didn't help me at all. That didn't help them get my veins at all when they were trying to inject me with the IV in any way, shape, or form. Like, it did nothing. Like, I walk in to a blood draw being like, all right, this is going to sound real weird, but I got some preferences I want to throw out before I get started with this blood draw. And then the nurses and phlebotomists look at me and they're like, oh, you have preferences? Okay. Like, expecting me to be like, give me the smallest needle you have. And I'm like, no. Double tourniquet black needle. And they're like, the black needle? If you're not familiar, the black needle is the biggest one in the case. And I like it for two reasons. One, despite drinking almost nothing but water, my blood does tend to be a little thick. So if I get the butterfly needle or the little blue needles, it doesn't typically all like tend to come out, even though they have that attached. So then I have to get stuck again, and that's not fun. Number two, the black needle, because it's the biggest, pulls as much of the blood as possible out quickly, so that this way nothing happens. Like I get it over and done with faster. So I just walk in, double tourniquet, so this way they can find my veins easier. Black needle, the biggest needle in the kit, so it hurts less, and also it gets my blood out, and it gets it out faster. And then the last thing I say is, and I would need like an apple juice or an orange juice or something like that for my blood sugar when this is over. And they're like, I actually love that you already have this figured out because you already know what you need and you already know what's going to make my life easier. I'm like, absolutely, yeah. Please actually give me the biggest needle that you have in the box. And they're like, didn't you say you're afraid of needles? I go, yes, actually I am. That's why I want the black one. Just get this over and done with quickly. But anyway, there was a point to this. So I have a hospital right by my house with the phlebotomist and everything at it. I will personally drive. If I have to get a blood draw done, I will personally drive to the hospital by the same chain a half an hour away just because they could hit my veins on the first try. Like, yeah, this one by me is closer. Yeah, I can go there. Yeah, they can still probably get my blood after multiple hits. But because I have the option to drive a half an hour north to get someone who's going to stick me right the first time, I'm driving half an hour north to get stuck right the first time. Anyway, that's why your clinic's not seeing as many patients as possible. They have options, and they're using all of those options. Regardless whether it was you or the nurse that killed 14 patients, 14 of your patients are dead, and your mortality rate is higher. Be that your mistake or somebody else's, it doesn't matter. Do you understand what that means? It means that they're just not coming to my clinic. Yeah, I just had a whole monologue about that, and I'm sure people were tired, skipped over it, and jumped right to this point in the conversation. You don't say. If it were me, I don't think I'd want to go either. Me neither. So, what would you like me to do about it? What, am I suing somebody for slander? No, it's written. That's libel, right? That's like the one thing I've learned from J. Jonah Jameson.
Slander is spoken. In print, it's libel.
I want you to help me prove that I'm innocent. Proving you're innocent isn't going to change the fact that the hospital mortality's rate went up. I don't understand how you don't get this. You do realize that I'm a lawyer and not a private investigator, correct? No, this is something that only you can do. Why? Maya Fey. You know this girl, correct? Yeah, how do you? Huh? Maya? Why would he know her name? I heard that you were working with her for a little while. Well, yeah, I mean, but hey, wait a second here. Wait, whoa. I worked under her? Yes, am I wrong? She told me, so I'm not quite sure if... Well, we worked together in a few trials, but she went back to her hometown to undergo more training. Ah, yes, I heard. It must be lonely for you. Wait, what? What? Do you mean Mia? Do you mean Mia Fey? Her sister, because I did work under her sister. She must be an extraordinary girl to handle such rigid training. Huh? I have an acquaintance who knows a lot about these mystical sort of things. No, you are talking about Maya. All right. She's the one who introduced me to Miss Fey. Is Maya really that famous? And I've already set up an appointment. For what? What else? A channeling. I'm going to have her call the spirit of that nurse that went and got herself killed. Oh. Maya. Wonder what she's up to right now. Well, we, the women of the Fey clan, have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power to communicate with the spirits flows strongly through us. Are you reaching for my cords? That's what she told me. Oh, okay, well, I'll just hold your paw in the meantime. I guess she's learned to accept her responsibilities and become an adult. I guess. Not counting the training, this will be her first time channeling a spirit. So, she gave me one condition before accepting my request. A condition? The condition is you, Mr. Wright. She said that she wouldn't do the channeling without first seeing you again. Me? And that is why I've searched you out. You want to see her too, don't you? I mean, I do. I'm concerned. And so, that is how I ended up visiting Maya's hometown with the doctor. Oh, I went to see her? Wait, wasn't she just here with me? Wasn't she just visiting? June 19th, 1:25 p.m., Karain Village. Yeah, Karain. I mean, like, I know that was 2 months ago, but did she what? Pop over for a visit, do some work for me, and then leave? And here we are. So this is Karain Village, Maya's hometown. Wonder how we got here. Oh, hello. Huh. You have eyes like Mia. What? Hello there.
Hello there.
Okay. Okay. What an odd little girl. Hey, wait up, Pearly. Huh? What? Someone else is coming this way. Nick! Oh, that's gotta be, yep. Maya! How are you? It's good to see you again. Wow! I didn't think you'd really show up. Okay. Well, it's not that big of a deal. You made it sound like you were so far away. Well, maybe I exaggerated just a little. It was only 2 hours by train. If I had known you were this close, I'd have visited more. No, you're not allowed. I already decided, you know? Until I become an adult, I have to work hard and be strong by myself. Oh, well. Anyway, congratulations. I'm glad to hear the training is going well for you. Oh, okay. Today's channeling. It looks like you've finally become a full-fledged medium, taking on your first job and all. Yeah, I didn't think it would be this soon, though. But in this case, do you know the messy story behind it? Behold, the power of the Maya Intelligence Network. The MIN? The MIN? Let's see. 14 people died because of the malpractice on Dr. Gray's part, right? And to pin the blame on the nurse, he killed her in what appeared to be a car accident. Is that why you're willingly meeting with the person you believe to be the murderer? Huh? So what is this Maya Intelligence Network anyway? The tabloids. That's what I thought. I'm just pulling your leg, Nick. What really happened is the exact opposite. I heard all about it from Dr. Gray. Oh. Oh, come on, Nick. I wouldn't take a crazed killer as a client. I would hope not. But you've made some questionable decisions in the past. That's too scary, even for me. Well, yeah, I guess so. What about Koran Village? So, this is your hometown, huh, Maya? Yep. Crane Village. But I've heard people call this place a Medium Valley, too. Huh. Interesting. So, everyone that lives here is a spirit medium? Pretty much. Most of my ancestors were, too, I think. Oh, that's probably true, since the Fae abilities to communicate with the dead is so strong. Actually, only the women of this village are mediums. So what do the men do? They usually work someplace outside the village. Oh, all right. Girl earlier. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you about the girl you saw earlier. Do you know her? Oh, you mean Pearly? Pearly? Yeah, Pearl Faye. She's my cousin. She did look like a Fae. She did have those kind of eyes. Isn't she adorable? Just like yours truly. Cousin. Wait. So that means, is she also a... Yep, she's a medium too. Pearly's a real genius when it comes to channeling. Huh, I see. Well, I hope I didn't scare her when I tried to talk to her earlier. Nah, it's not you. My aunt drilled it into her head that if a suspicious-looking person tries to talk to you, run away. Oh, suspicious-looking. Wait. Well, you're not wearing training clothes for starters. Oh, okay, that's fair enough, I guess. Well, of course not. Pearly is my aunt's most valued treasure, so she's not allowed to go outside of town. She doesn't know much about the world outside of Crane Village either. Aunt? Aunt? Pearly's mother is my aunt. Duh, Nick. Come on. Well, Nick, I gotta get going. It's about time for the channeling to start. Huh? Oh, yeah. I'm doing the channeling in my house, so come on in, okay? After I'm done, we can grill up some juicy burgers. All right, well, good luck, Maya. Thanks. And she's gone. Well, at least she's still the same perky Maya. I should definitely look around a little bit. An old bus stop. It says Crane Village on the signpost. The bus seems to be incredibly inconvenient since they only come 3 times a day. Phone booth? It's an old-style phone booth. I can't say it fits in with this area too well. My cell phone doesn't get reception here, so who knows? I may end up needing it later. That's fair. A giant rock that seems to be reaching for the sky. Its origins are written on a beat-up old sign. It looks like this giant rock is called the Crane Boulder. There's a really complex explanation written here, but long story short, It's a big stone for spirits to live in, or something like that. Rustic, thatched roof houses where the other villagers live line the streets. They're nowhere near as large or as nice as the manor in front of me. Kind of odd that I don't see any of the other villagers walking around, though. Yeah, that's probably fair. The biggest, most elegant buildings I can see from here. This is Fay Manor, the place that Maya calls home. It's easy to be overwhelmed by its presence. Yeah. Nothing like broken signposts for dead bodies or anything like that. Nope, everything else here looks normal. Well, with, I guess, nothing else to interact with, I'm going to go ahead and save it, and this is where we're going to call the episode. I know I ranted a little bit at some point during it, but I have a lot of very interesting experiences, not just with hospitals, from having a extensive list of medical problems that I all had to get tested and checked out, but also simultaneously being from a family that's very enmeshed in, like, medical stuff. Long story short, if I look at you and you're like, yeah, my leg's doing this weird thing, and I go, oh my God, go to a hospital now. The short version is, oh my God, go to a hospital right now. Because I've seen some really crazy stuff, and I've done some really crazy stuff. And I also briefly was a nursing student. So if I'm looking at you being like, there is a problem, go to a hospital now, you should do that. Because also, I don't have health insurance right now either. So I understand the repercussions of what that means. So if I, a person without health insurance and extensive medical background, without having any kind of degree or anything like that in it, and not just going to good old Google University for it, tell you should go get looked at by a real professional, you should go get looked at by a real professional. Anyway, that's all the time I've got for this video. I gotta prevent my cat from eating my cords while I hold her paw. I'll see you guys in the outro. Hey guys, outro here. All right, algorithm, next part or something else I think you're gonna like in the meantime. And then right over here, I put a lot of thought about it. I'm gonna put in a link to a game called Growing Up. If you're not familiar with it, first off, it was one of my first experiences with learning to be able to do multiple voices with stuff. So fair warning, it is a little bit dated. But I'm still really proud of the content that I put out then about it. It was a really fun series to record, but the idea was that you lived more or less an entire childhood as a person. And based on like the decisions and choices that you made, determined how they were going to grow up. And then if you kept playing the game, you would eventually play as like the children of the people that you previously played as. It was a lot of fun, and it had some very interesting stuff regarding like you got to find out what happened to all the friends that you grew up with. And every playthrough is different because so much stuff is like randomly generated and all those kinds of things. But yeah, I'm going to include a link to that because that game left such an impact on my memory in such a way that I think I might just return to it on my own time, just because it was interesting. And it really challenged my concepts of like what it meant to like be a person, you know, and the reflections of how my own life has gone when I think about things that I did in my childhood and people that I used to know. For example, I knew a kid that used to bully me when I was in middle school, who is no longer with us anymore because he passed away from recreational usage of things that are not allowed, if you catch the vibe. And so like, you know, as a person, like that gives me mixed feelings because this is a kid that used to bully me when I was growing up. But at the same time, I feel bad that was how he left, you know, and I feel bad that he left this world that soon about it. So I feel like that game really captures that complex feeling of life where like, you're like, yeah, I can't bring myself to actually be upset about it, but I have an icky feeling in my soul, you know? So anyway, enough of my blathering. But check that out if you'd like. Remember, guys, drink your water, eat a food, and take your pills if you haven't yet today. And I'll see you guys in the next one.